get a little bit of an adjustment there. All right, we are hanging out. Welcome to the stream, and super excited. This is my second stream of the night. We actually just wrapped up a Hobby with Me stream, which was basically an hour long video of me just clipping ghouls and putting them together for my Jerrion's delegation and seeing how much work I could get done in 1 hour. And it turns out in 1 hour, I'm able to assemble and clean. I think that's what took the longest part. Clipping out all the little bits, not too bad, but it was actually taking the hobby knife to the pieces and cleaning them up so that I could assemble them. That's what took the longest. But 10 ghouls assembled, one souped up, powered up Igor assembled. What a handsome looking devil. And I've also landed on this new style, this new format of video. So look forward to more of that in the future. You can always check them out in the live stream like library of Warboss Tay's channel. If you ever want to just hang out, and if you're working on hobby and you don't want to hear or see anything on YouTube that's going to distract you too much, you just want to work and have somebody working with you, that's what those Hobby with Me videos are going to be like. Just like Study with Me videos, just play it in the background and you can look up anytime you want to see somebody working on something. It's the same thing. It's an hour-long hobby video. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I want to talk to you about Old World first. Old World. The Old World, Warhammer Fantasies, The Old World. It's coming next year. It's gonna be here pretty soon. And there is a lot of hype because the Tomb Kings box was revealed. It was leaked, I guess, from somebody in the warehouse showing a bunch of boxes that needed to be folded before the product could go in. And so we got to see what the box looked like that they're going to be using. And we got to see a lot of old sculpts. Like the Tomb Kings are getting a majority of their box is going to be those older sculpts. And I looked on eBay and a battalion box of Tomb Kings, not even like 2, 3 editions ago, but the very last edition of Warhammer Fantasy, a battalion box goes for around $325 on eBay, American. And that is crazy to me because I remember when, before the Vanguard and the Battle Forces and the start collecting, um, battalions in Warhammer Fantasy battles used to be around like $99, $100 even. And everybody thought, wow, what a big investment, right? If you drop $100 and you get a battalion in a box, a bunch of different units. And now they're bringing them back for these army boxes for the Old World. And it really is very interesting to see that they're packing so many miniatures in. They're putting up the rules for the game in each of the army boxes. So instead of having a starter set, like the Leviathan starter set or Battle for Skull Pass, where you have 2 different armies, right, like Night Goblins and Dwarves, you are going to pay for a single army box, like the Tomb Kings. And with that army box, with those units, you're going to get a hard copy of the rules of the game. And you are expected to find somebody else who puts in the money to get their own army box and their own version of the rules, and then that's how you're going to play together. I'm thinking Games Workshop is going to be putting out more information, more pictures, advertising the units and the miniatures, because I don't know why they're not pre-selling all of their Warhammer Fantasy units in a Warhammer The Old World section on their website. Wouldn't they make so much money? Because there's all this hype on the Old World. People are really looking for any leaks that they can get for the Old World. Games Workshop had a section, you know how they have Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, and then all of the specialist stuff. If right under Age of Sigmar, they had Warhammer The Old World, and you clicked on that, and all of the armies from Warhammer Fantasy Battle popped up with all of the figures that you could go out and buy. I'm sure a lot of people would start scooping up those miniatures. I think the reason they don't do that is because they're in the old, they're still in the old Warhammer Fantasy packaging. They still have the old base sizes. They want to really rebrand the miniatures, but Could you imagine how much money Games Workshop could be making right now? Because the hype is so real for Warhammer the Old World. Everybody wants as much information as Games Workshop will drop. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be doing more Tomb Kings because I've never done Tomb Kings. I actually think I have Cetra on a chariot that I got for like $10 because somebody was like, I don't know why I even bother with this army. So I've got to find it. But I picked this up on eBay for $35, and it was a buy it now, I think. And I thought, you know what? It's cheaper than a lot of other clamshell figures that you would go and get from like off the store shelf. And then I got it in the mail. The freaking guy didn't even bother to take off the price tag. So he's just rubbing my face in it that I'm I paid 20 more bucks for this than he did. Whatever. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. Man, I don't know why little stuff like that frustrates me. But as you can see, this is one of the relics. This is one of the legendary figures that only came out, I believe. I don't think, maybe it came out in metal. I don't remember. But in this version of it, we are delving deep into Finecast. Yes, Finecast, that legendary material. Oh man, is that? Look, you can already tell from the back that his staff is bent. Isn't that? Oh, Games Workshop, isn't that so you? Isn't that just like you? You got me a bent staff on an item that I got on eBay. All right, so let's pop it open. First of all, thank you for the clamshell. It's one more wet palette, ghetto wet palette that I can add to my collection. I really need to, guys, update and change your hobby knives. This is very dangerous. Isn't that good? You need a sharp hobby knife to work on miniatures these days. It's just like cleaning off mold lines and cutting miniature bits from the sprues, like all that flash. You need to have a sharp knife. This is not good. All right, Finecast. What? Oh, I don't know. What are we even looking at? Tomb King's Lich Priest. We are gonna go and actually, you know what? Before we continue, let me keep this right here and creator tools. Start a poll. Okay, there's a lot to look at over here. I haven't done this in a while. Here, live chat, top chat. Okay, so I was wondering because people are popping in and out of the stream, and I don't see anybody chatting. So if you're trying to chat and you're not, my bad. Okay, let's get. Sorry guys, I've got my phone in a little holder here, and so when I try tapping on things, it makes it look a little wonky. And start shaking everything up. So we're gonna build them up. Yeah, Tomb King's Lich Priest. I don't know why. Sorry. Okay, there we go. We're gonna take a look at the Finecast sprue. First of all, 20mm square base. Now, dare I just ordered these from Amazon. They just came in the mail today. They're 25mm square bases, and they're perfect for rebasing your fantasy miniatures. You get 100 of them for like less than $10, I think. But I don't know, this is the way that it was made. I wonder if I should build it and paint it in a 20mm or a 25. Oh, you know what? Maybe this might be a time to start a poll. Let me know what you think. Should I build this Tomb King Lich Priest up in the 20mm square base that it came with, or should I bump it up to the 25? Before we continue, let me make a quick poll so that everybody can see the question. Creator Tools poll. Ask 20 millimeter or 25 millimeter. What size base should I should I put this mummy guy on? All right, let's see. This is the first time I'm ever using one of these polls. Boosh. So go ahead and answer that poll question, and then by the end of this, the chat will throw him on. But for now, we'll take a look at the miniature, and we'll put them together at least. Okay, fine, Cass. What do you have for me? Just looking at this again, I'm reminded of my experience. 2004, really? Oh man, wasn't that a time? Wasn't that a great year? 2004 was a simpler time. It's great. Okay, so he looks like just a mummy that's been left in the tomb. He's got all these wrappings around his legs. He's got that standard like mantle that goes over his head, very reminiscent of like Egyptian and that Tomb King look. A lot of gems. Okay, but look at all the flash. It's hard to tell what even is flash because this piece of cloth that's hanging under his arm, right there, that could be easily seen as, oh, that's just flash. So you take your blade and you cut it off. But that is, I'm pretty sure, a part of the miniature. The only part that's not are these little dangly bits that I hate. Hate this from any kind of resin. You see it a lot on 3D printed miniatures. Like a lot of this looks like it's not right. Like that gap right there, that doesn't look right. Luckily, there's no really egregious mold shifts where I've had this before. Some of you might remember my old Ogre fine cast mercenary models, or the Fire Belly especially, where half of the miniature was shifted up just slightly with a bad mold line. So even if you clean off the mold line, it looks like the entire miniature is just slightly off. And that was so frustrating because at the time, being, a kid just like out of college, having to pay for a premium product of like an army that just came out, like, oh, look, the Fire Belly just came out from the Ogre Kingdoms range, and I'm so excited to get it. And then you get home and you pop open the box, and it's like the executioner, the staff is all bent, or the axe is all bent, and the Fire Belly is bad mold shift. It's crazy. All right. But that's enough complaining. You know what? The past is the past. And hopefully there's going to be some great rules for the Tomb King's Lich Priest here so that our boy can see some action. Because he is looking gaunt. This guy. Oh, I see. There's a bad mold line right there on the side of his face. And then there is an air bubble. Air bubbles were notorious in Finecast because they like there's not much you can do with them. You take some liquid green stuff or some green stuff at the time, epoxy, and just smooth it over. But sometimes that will end up with strange consistency, strange textures on your model. Not fun to have to deal with. I might just leave this, most of this, as make it look like a scar. Because the texture on his face, the sculpt of his face looks really good. This like horrified scream thing he's got going. I'm afraid that if I shave into that too much, it's gonna get into his head. Or even worse, sometimes, one time I was cleaning off a mold line and I was just scraping it. And while I was scraping it, it opened up like a giant air bubble where I was scraping it. So See, that kind of stuff makes you not want to do, not want to do your best at this hobby. I can see some flash here, so I'm pretty sure that's flash. Yeah, you can tell it's flash because it carries from the back to the front. It's not fun. Not fun, Finecast. You're reminding me why I broke up with you. Finecast is like a bad ex. Are there any other kind? It's like you get out of the relationship and like your brain subconsciously locks away all these bad memories. So later on, when you see something Finecast on eBay, you're like, oh, wasn't that bad, was it? I don't remember it being that bad. Why don't we order it? Why don't we pay lots and lots of money for something that looks like you could have bought it on Etsy? Okay. So, see, like, this part is tricking me. It's like an optical illusion. This part right here, this cloth, it looks like, from the back, it looks like flash, but it's not. It's like part of his robe. Oh, is that another piece? Is that another air bubble? Looks like. But you won't be able to see it from far away. What I've learned is to just accept that most things you're not going to see from far away. So a lot of these little imperfections, like this air bubble right there, you're not going to see. Once you prime and paint this up. Okay, so now let's remind ourselves why Finecast was so hated. Here we go. There's our guy. There's his staff. Wow, look at that. What a weapon, right? It's like a staff that also has this wicked blade on it. Whew, looks so sharp, looks so deadly. It's got some leather wrapping around it all the way down. Wow, can't wait to see what that looks like. Oh man, isn't this great? This is great. So I'm like, what do you do with this? You can't do anything with it right now. You're gonna need to heat up some hot water, not boiling. For those of you who've never worked with resin before, um, if you have something like this where it's bent and you need to fix it, then just take some hot water and dip it inside, let it get nice and pliable, and then all you do is bend it back. It's really not too bad, like too big of a deal. Now, when Warboss was like just a big boss, I thought, it's too much trouble. I'm already sitting down here at my hobby desk. Why? I don't have time to go into the kitchen and heat up some water just so that I can straighten this thing out. I'll just like straighten it out. And 9 times out of 10, what ends up happening is that you like try to force it into place, right? But because it's already stuck in this position, you're not going to get the result that you want. You're either going to get one that's just slightly less bent or bent up only at the corners, but if you're able to straighten out the center, it still looks a little bit bent in the corners. Or worst case scenario, you snap the whole damn thing, and there goes your evening, right? So I can't even do anything with this model. I've got to heat up some water. I've got to dip it in and wait till it gets all pliable, and then I'm gonna have to straighten it out. So thanks a lot, Finecast. Thanks a lot for reminding me why I hate you, and why every time I used to work with you in my old videos, I would like shake my fist and yell, Finecast! And I'd curse into the sky as it rained down on me, and I threw my arms out, and like that's always the image I have in my head whenever I see some garbage like this. Look, okay, let's zoom in on it to see how egregious this actually is. Is this a mold shift? It's definitely a mold line, but is it a shift in the actual mold? No, I don't think so. Okay. It looked like it was from down here. Like this right here looked pretty upsetting, but when you get to the top, it's just not as bad. The thing is, okay, sculptors at Games Workshop, why would you even do this at the time if you knew, hey guys, there's a rumor going around that this Finecast stuff isn't as great as they're making it out to be. Maybe we shouldn't sculpt long weapons like staffs, long spears and stuff. And then the heads of the department just go, oh no, it's great, don't worry about it. It's gonna look amazing. They'll never know. Nunzio, they'll never know. Just put it in the box and ship it out. Wait a minute. This is just his hand. This is just his hand. Where's the rest of his where's the rest of his arm? Shouldn't he have a left arm? God, don't tell me. No, this is the sprue. And this is the pack. Bruh. Wait, did my guy not even come with a right arm? My brain is breaking right now, guys. I'm wondering if this is why the guy on eBay sold this miniature, because he got home and he's like, oh boy, I'm gonna build up this Tomb Kings model. And then when he looked it over, he realized that there was no right arm. And because I'm a big dummy and I didn't think to check all the parts before I cracked it open, I don't know. Would Games Workshop even care at this point? They'd be like, Tomb Kings department, I'm sorry, sir, that department doesn't exist anymore. This is how I feel. Yeah. I'm not wrong, right? I'm not imagining things. This guy should have. But then where is it? Because didn't he look like this? He looked like this in the sprue. There's no there's nothing to have like an extra, there's no one of these little bits to have like a second, have his arm. Did they camouflage it? No. I don't think it was the little bit that I just clipped from here and that just like went flying away, right? Okay. I am perplexed. I'm more frustrated than anything because bro had the $15.25 price tag there, and I paid on eBay like $20 more just to have this arrive and see that it doesn't even have his right arm. I can't even build it. See, this is okay. Great, Finecast. All right, thank you. I can't. What's the point of even? All right. You know what? Just move on. It's Christmas. It's the holidays. It's the holidays, Nunzio. Why do you care that this model doesn't have a right arm? Just send it out. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Jeez, what a disappointing turn of events. let's do something that's not going to disappoint us. What I might as well even cancel the poll. What's the point of having a poll anymore? I was debating whether or not I should put him on the 20mm base that came with him, or put him onto an old world size 25. We're talking about the old world, like just about how great it would be for Games Workshop to have their miniatures for the Warhammer Fantasy, like selling them online. But now I don't know. Maybe it'd be better to just burn the whole thing. Let's close up shop. How disappointing. All right, let's do something that's gonna make us feel a little better, huh? Let's pop open another box of Artel W Miniatures. What do you say, Super Igor?
I think that's fantastic. This is not my final voice, I'm just testing some out.
I was so happy, guys, when my son said the other day, he sees Igor sitting on the corner of my desk, and he points at it, and he goes, "Big spooky, Daddy, spooky!" And it's because when we used to watch, he used to love watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and every time it would get to the evil queen, he didn't like it. And he didn't like the evil queen. He didn't like the music. He didn't like the way that it looked, the lighting and whatnot. So I used to say, "Oh no, it's the spooky queen." And then my son would go, "Spooky, big spooky." And he just pointed the TV. So now anything that scares him, he just says it's big spooky and he points at it. And so he was pointing at Igor and he was going, "Daddy, Daddy, big spooky." And I was like, "No, Julian, that's Igor." And then he goes, "Igor." And I was like so proud. I don't know why. That was like the happiest moment of my life as a dad. Don't tell my wife that, she'll kill me. Artel W Miniatures is a company that I am lucky enough to be an affiliate for. That means that if you check out their products through the link in my description, which I hope you do, and you do decide to purchase something, it would really be helping me out. I would be earning a small commission for it. But all of these miniatures that I'm showing you, I purchased for full price. I did not get them for free. I went out and I said, I love these miniatures. I want to pick them up and add them to my collection, at least long enough for me to paint them up and sell them back on eBay because they look terrific. I have no idea what's in this box. I got 3 boxes. I already built up the box of racks, which you might have remembered from my previous live stream. I absolutely love these miniatures. The quality of the resin that they use is just out of this world, unbelievable. And I actually got a like Games Workshop plastic rack. At some point, I had ordered one for myself. So what I might do is build one up just to compare them, because now when I look at them, as nice as some of the detailing on the sculpt is, they just don't evoke a feeling of a patched together Frankenstein monster as these Artel W racks. So check out the link in the description. It'll take you right to the website where you can see for yourself just all the great sculpts that they have. Let's look what's in the box. What's in the box? I don't know. I vaguely remember everything that I ordered, but a lot of it was a blur. Okay, what is this? This looks like a grotesque. No, it looks like an orc. But which orc? Looks like a couple of orcs. I see a couple of orc torsos. You see some grots. I think it's a tank buster. Yeah. I think it's the boss tank buster. The trick with Artel W, order something from their website. They send it to you and they pack in little plastic baggies each model individually. So you have everything you need to build that model. Now, some of them, especially if you start looking at their orc war bikes, they're so detailed and they have so many parts and bits to them that you're not going to be able to like build it. If you order a squad of war bikes, for example, you're not going to be able to figure it out if they're all mixed together in a bag like this. So they got each one individually wrapped. Oh, it's a medic, because he's got a little cross on his bag. I think this is actually okay. You know what? I think I'm looking at a couple of guys here. I've got to be. No, you know what this is? This is the medic figure that's like carrying. He's carrying an orc over his shoulder, and the orc is like screaming and like he's got his leg amputated. It's hilarious. Okay, I'll build this up, and then I'll show you what that looks like. What else do we got? Woo! Okay, this I could tell are Voidborn or Drukari Dark Eldar because of the weird looking torso over there. Yeah, these are the grotesques. So once I think what I'm gonna do after I unbox and show you guys all the bags is I'm gonna need to go onto the Artel W website, because on all of the products they also include like the build instructions. There's no way that I would be able to figure it out, like the angles and everything on my own. My memory is not that great right now. What do I have here? These look like either Eldar or Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar, because they've got sickles and stuff. Oh, more racks? Did I order 2 racks? Oh, I must have to get the discount. Yeah, you guys, if you go and order the Flesh Husks pack, then you're gonna get a little bit of a discount. I think it's like $5 if you order 2 of them. So I think I saw that each pack comes with 6, and I thought, oh, you know, if I get 2 packs, I'm saving $5 on each one, and then I'm also gonna be able to build them with a variety of different things. Okay, cool. So I got 2 packs of Flesh Husks, or as they call them, the racks in the Drukari. Look at this guy. Look at this absolute unit. What a beast. To put some green stuff in there, I didn't realize how big that gap was, but holy moly. What a guy. Okay, what else do we have in this box of goodies? I'm gonna take them all out so that I can slowly add them back in. Oh, I love this one, guys. This is a warp spider who's like phasing back into reality next to a space marine, like into the body of a space marine. Seriously, check out the link down below in the description. It'll take you to Artel's website, and just go look around, because I think when you see this one, you're really gonna enjoy it. There's 2 ways you could build him. You could build him hopping off of this destroyed piece of Eldari scenery, or you can build a space marine that's literally coming apart, like exploding, because the warp spider is blasting through him. So this is the effect of the warp spider like materializing, and I think you could see there's some like space marine armor. There's a helmet. The way you build it, though, it's just hilarious. It's like the body is literally like coming apart, because his warp spider is materializing inside of him and just going brah. All right, that's great. Look, another piece, another orc. Oh, this is the mechanic, and the best part of this one is, I think, the helmet. The helmet is like a construction worker hat, Bob the Builder style. And it's another thing. My son is so into construction vehicles right now, diggers and excavators and backhoes and bulldozers. He knows the names of everything. Show him a construction vehicle, and my son will probably know what it is. Maybe not its model number, but he will know, like, through the different parts of that construction vehicle. That's what I love about him. And I love this construction hat. Like, for a mechanic, there is nothing better that I could imagine that you would put on your head as an orc than like a bright orange construction hat. I love that so much. Oh man, fantastic. See, in fine cast, Artel W has the same, not issue, but the same difficulty or obstacle of dealing with bits of flash, right? Parts of the casting process that you're gonna have to go in with a clipper and just clean away like that. No big deal. With the fine cast stuff, you have to look in and like scrape away, and you're worried about air bubbles, and I still can't believe this thing was packaged without a right arm. I wonder if the eBay seller, like, if he mentioned that. If not, I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. Like, hey man, why didn't you tell me that this thing you sold me doesn't have an arm? I got a YouTube channel. I don't have time to check these things. Like, who the heck are you talking to, man? All right, you know what I'm gonna do, because we might as well have some fun with this orc mechanic. I love the specialists. I think it was during October when all the orc stuff was on sale. And I was like, everybody should just scoop up a bunch of orc characters and orc like units, because now's the time to do it. Like, whatever this is, I love this. This is great. The little dial here, the tubing, the tank on his back. I love everything about this. Most Artel orc stuff I love. And look at the way that his pouch, his toolkit belt is hanging. It's pressed, like it's pushed away from his body. Like there's actually stuff in here. I don't know why. With a lot of Games Workshop's plastic miniatures, I'm thinking about like the Cadians, right? And their pouches and their packs. A lot of it looks really flat, and you just press it to the body and you glue it. But look how there's like a shape to it. There's a feeling that it's weighted, it's full, and that the pouch itself, the pocket, juts out from the rest of the apron or whatever, like the back of the tool belt. I don't know. It's just like the little things like that, like the fact that Artel W's, like the feet of their witches or their voidborn, their feet look so well sculpted. Like the toes look really good. I think somebody asked me once, like, why do you talk about the Dark Eldar feet so much? Like, what are you, Quentin Tarantino? No, I just, when I see something that's a high quality, that the premier company in your hobby is not even bothering to do, that like impresses me. All right, I just wanted to put his head on because that's great. Look, he's got little goggles and everything, man. I wonder if this thing is intuitive enough that I can build it right now for you guys. Oh yeah, look at that, torso and legs. Let's do it. I brought out the Bob Smith super glue accelerator just in case, but I don't think we even need it. I know how to build a model. I know how to build an orc. Look at that, man. I love his little pot belly and like the way his trousers just go into his boots. The armor bits on his boots. What a great model. I love and it's a small thing, but the fact that he's not a big, beefy, like muscle-bound orc, the fact that he's got like all these triple, quadruple chins, and he's got like this bulky frame that's mostly like fat. I love that. All right, I don't want to spend too much time on this guy, so we'll just hit it with the Bob Smith. Then we'll set him on the side to cure. Let's continue. Let's move on and see what else is in this bag of goodies. Yeah, I think this guy's got grot assistants that I got with him, so we'll put those all back in the bag. And then these look like, yeah, these are the orc. I think these are these the commandos or the tank busters? Yeah, these are the tank busters, I think, because they got bombs. I don't know. They could be the commandos. Scout and Recon Squad, I think they're called. They look so great. Yeah, this might be it because got chains on their backpacks. Let's take a look at one of them. Again, these are all Artel W Miniatures. Click the link down below in the description. I'll take you right to their page. I don't know what this... Oh, I do know what it is. It's like he's like a sniper hiding behind some scenery, I think. And again, the fact that they bag individually all of these guys is really good. Yeah, I think this is like it's like a sniper character. Look at that. This is terrific. He's got a knife. Look at the quality of this sculpt. All the pouches. This guy's lean and trim, whereas the mechanic was like bulky, beefy, real stout frame. This guy has definitely put in the time in the gym. Oop. Like, look at just the sculpt on the bandages wrapping around his arm. That's so good. All right. I'm not gonna look too much. This is just like an overview, and then I'll do like dedicated videos out of all of this once I really gotta organize. The purpose of this video of me opening it just to show you that I haven't opened these yet. I'm literally unwrapping them and just very briefly looking at them with you guys. Okay, I thought he was a sniper because this looks like a scenery piece, but he's not holding a rifle. He's got like a look at the little silencer on his little shooter pistol. Then here's the piece. I wonder if it's looks like it's supposed to stand, right? Because that's why this is all textured. And it looks like somebody blew a hole in it right there. I'm gonna have to take a look at the box. Or not the box, there's no box. The website should have the instructions, and you see the finished built models all put together. So that's what I'm gonna need to reference. But I love these sculpts so much. The Scout and Recon Squad and the Tank Buster Squad. Like, they just look really nice, really well designed, clever, humorous. I thought I also bought some Striking Scorpion alternatives, but they might be in the third box. This might just be the orc stuff. Yeah, fantastic. I think they've all got some, like this guy's got like some Wile E. Coyote dynamite right there. They've all got the commando backpacks. Yeah, they're called the Scout and Recon Squad, but they're like commandos essentially. And these guys are the tank busters. Yeah, and look, he's got the Arnold quad launcher, the Arnold quad launcher bazooka. So great. Check them out for yourself. And I need to take these and like organize them so that I can do a cohesive video for all of you. But that's my Artel W Miniatures unboxing for today. I've got one more box to dig into, but I'm definitely going to come back to all of these. I've got the orc characters, the grotesques, this second squad of racks I can build up on my own, the orc commandos, and the orc tank busters. They look absolutely phenomenal. I just love Artel W's design, the scope of their artistry. It's just amazing. And I am lucky enough, like I said, to be an affiliate of Artel W. So if you check out their link and you do decide to purchase anything, you would really be helping me out. And hey, it's Christmas. Why not? Treat yourself. All right, guys, we are running up on 45 minutes for this stream. We talked about the old world. We looked at some good resin models with the Artel stuff. We looked at some just absolutely horrible fine cast. And I don't know if even the sculpt is that horrible. You can't tell because, like I said, they're missing the arm. This thing's missing the arm. It's not even a complete miniature. Oh, man. Frustrated. But I was able to build up this souped up Igor, Super Igor. Built up 10 of his nephews, aka flesh ghouls. So there's another 20 that I need to build up. And Jerrion, my wayward son, has been primed and is ready to go. I'm going to be doing a how to paint video for him, as well as a tutorial for how to paint these night goblins. It's absolutely so much fun going back to them. In fact, I'm not even done with these because I got to finish the yellow on the shield and I got to do the edge of the shield as well. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be a lot coming out and I'm just really having a good time, guys. It's the end of the year. I hope you're all having a great holiday season. We've got a lot of hobby to get into. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop it in the chat. And I hope hanging out with me these past 47 minutes has been fun for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more videos called Hobby with Me, where basically you just have an hour's worth of me sitting down and you checking out what I'm doing. And by the end of the hour, or throughout the video, because I'm not really going to be talking, throughout the video, you would just look up and be able to see what I'm working on. And I think it's really fun. I was able to get done these 10 ghouls, like I said, and this one Super Igor. So we'll keep doing those, and hopefully they're of help to you. You can check them out while you're working on your hobby, and you can be able to get some work done on your end of whatever you're working on. There's a lot going on in the next year. So we want to be working as efficiently as possible. And I'm here with you guys. I'm here in the trenches right with you. I've got these other bases for the other models in this Jerrion's Delegation box. And I also have a Flesh Eater Quartz Army box that I scooped up today. So Igor is going to be having a big family reunion because I've got a bunch of miniatures to unbox for him and for the rest of you guys, and to do some painting videos on. I'm really excited. I'm not a collector, or I'm not a gamer, I should say, as much as a collector and a painter. And even the stuff that I'm painting, I'm really just trying to not only work through what I currently have in my collection, but also to get new things that I can paint up and sell on eBay as quick as possible. I want to see if I can actually cut this open and show you something. I saw this on Twitter. I thought it was really fun. And it's basically some fluff fiction in the army book, and it is written by a character who's like a prisoner of the flesh eater courts, and he's been asked to like paint them. He's like a painter, and so in the beginning he's like, I'm gonna try to escape as fast as I can. Like these are monsters, and I'll tell them I'll paint them, but there's no way. And so he's like having to draw the 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 ghouls and the flesh eater courts, and as he does, he's slowly starting to change his outlook on them as he becomes more and more like afflicted by whatever madness they have into thinking that they're handsome, beautiful, attractive, noble. And it's great because you saw the box art of the flesh eater courts. I think this is my favorite thing about them. This is how they look, right? But then on the flip side of this, which is, I think they're cards, there's a picture of how they picture themselves, how they envision themselves. So nobody sees them like this, but this is how they see themselves. And I think it's like such a great bit of writing and fluff that I really like it. It makes me want to collect them, because before, the flesh, like ghouls, crypt ghouls in Warhammer Fantasy were just basically creatures that hung around graveyards and dug up dead bodies and ate them. Like, this character that they've got is really good. So let's clear away Igor's family, and let's show off a little bit of the army book. And oh, we can also take a look at this, the build guide. This is what I always try to look for in these army boxes, the instructions. If they're leaked online, it's a great way to check out the models before you actually decide to go out and buy them. So you can see the base sizes here, what the characters are going to be put on the size bases, and you can see through the build guide what their options are as well. So if you're wondering what should I go out and buy, and if it's worth it or how difficult it's going to be to put together, you can see just from here, Crypt Guard. So Crypt Guard are like the new super good ghouls. There's a lot. Oh, man. So having built up 10 ghouls and knowing that I'm going to build up another 20, just looking at this right now, you can see that ideally they look like the old crypt ghouls, but now instead of just legs and torso, you've got a leg, a second leg, and then a butt plate. Or like a piece of here on the front, loincloth. Yeesh. Not all of them have that third piece, but it was so much simpler when you just have legs and torso. You're almost like spoiled, because now instead of just having 2 arms and a head, some of these also have, like, you have to match these double-handed weapons. That's what I hate doing normally with just a double-handed sword. As you can see from my flesh husk figure from Artel W Miniatures, aligning one arm when you glue it in, and then getting the second arm to match up so that the wrist matches up also. It's a little bit of a chore. I like the standard bearer and musician, though. The fact that they have a standard bearer and musician in these in this unit is hilarious. So it looks like you can either equip them with a hand weapon, a sword, or like a double-handed weapon. It's great. And the paint scheme is terrific too. I think it's so hilarious. That's great. The flayed skin flag, of course. And then the Morbheg Knights. This is the one that I wanted to really take a look at how to build. Because for those of you who've built up the Cavaliers for Cities of Sigmar, you know how different and complicated they are compared to the old school Empire Knights. So this looks like, yeah, a lot of pieces for the mount. Not too much. Bodies go together, leg, foot, other foot. Like they all the feet have like front sections to them. Hey, Thomas Mertens. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And yeah, it looks like the riders are just holding on with a leash. I do like the bat faces though, for the mounts. Really good stuff. That is good. That I approve of. Needs more. What's weird is that excuse me, I thought like the bat faces like these are more suited to the Soulblight Gravelords. I thought that these guys were just about weird, yeah, like misshapen flesh eater court like things. What am I trying to say? I thought the aesthetic of the flesh eater courts did not include bat ears and bat faces. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it looks good though. I think they look, yeah, really good. Musician with the horn here. I think this guy here, the standard bearer, like crouching here over the rubble, looks really good. Isn't the Terrorgeist a flesh eater court? The Terrorgeist. I think. I'm not sure. Oh, the Terrorgeist. Yeah. No, I think, yeah, you're right, because the zombie dragon was the steed for the knight. Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right. The Terrorgeist was a bat face. So even then they were associating the ghouls with mounts that had the bat faces on it. That's a good point. Okay. I take back what I said. Yeah. Love it. Love it. Okay, I want to peek through the book because this is the part that I really enjoyed seeing when I first saw it on Twitter. The art is great. Okay, first of all, the art is great. I was afraid that Games Workshop was leaning more towards like cartoony style art for their game, especially when you take a look at 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy. Look at the codex covers. They're so bright and cartoony, and like the aesthetic was so different from codexes just even 1 edition earlier. When you look at the Empire codex from 7th edition to 8th edition. So I'm glad to see that the art, at least, yeah, like look at this. This is brutal. This is not what you want to see if you're a parent of a teenager when they say, "Hey, I want to get this new thing called Warhammer." It's like miniatures you paint up. Yeah, look at that. You're right. You're right. There it is, Terrorgeist. But what's funny is that I guess the Soulblight Gravelord got to keep the Vargeists, which were these Igors with wings, and these became Crypt Flayers, which are just Vargeists with Igor heads. So, I don't know, who's to say? Oh yeah, look how great that looks painted up, that Morbheg knight with the body on top. Really good. Good stuff. There's Big Papa up there. That's your Uncle Ushoran, Igor. Great. Yeah, look at this. Look at this artwork. This is just terrific. Okay, so here, let's look for all of it because this is the what I'm talking about. The ghouls have taken me captive and insist I paint their lords and ladies, but I shall not shy away from their true monstrous appearance. Yeah, look. Oh, this is so cool, guys. Look at this. This art that looks so brutal. And like the first thing you see is this crypt flayer, right? And just how big and savage and brutal he looks. But then you see he's looking into a mirror, and the mirror is reflecting a noble visage. That's such a great piece of art right here. Yeah. Oh boy, that's just fantastic. I am such a huge fan. I'm glad they went back to the brutality of the artwork here. Like, it's scary. This is nightmare fuel. This is the kind of stuff that I like in my Warhammer. Oh man, I could just look at this art all day. All right, the Lord Liverbelch. The wretches name this creature the master of the kitchens, master of the abattoir more likely. It is obsessive in picking out the choicest cuts of bloody meat. I must take care not to draw its attention. So you can see he's forced to create all this artwork. Oh man, so good, so good. Often do the ghouls perform foul worship before Cardinal Spleen spew, their lunatic prelate. Yet there is a power to his voice as it shakes these gore-splattered halls. So already he's starting to be affected by the madness. Baron Gizzard's return from the hunt heralds newfound mania amongst the court. Crass as he is, Marquis Wretchbile stands first among the king's generals. No knight could be fiercer than the Lord Marrowbroth, his boons won from supping his liege's blood. How was I once so revolted by the noble Marquis Grewslop? Holiness surely cloaks him. So there you go. You could see he's already dipping into like not being able to return. Okay, and then the Grand Court. So these are the different color schemes, right? They talk about their fluff. But it's interesting that each of them has like slightly different colors to them. Whoa, that's a big boy. And then this is great. This is their like their true horrible looking pictures. And then here, you see he's already painting them up as like noble, beautiful people. Many would slander the Lady Chamberslough, yet she is ever our king's foremost aide-de-camp. This is just great. And then finally, I see him now, our magnificent sovereign. How blind I was, how inured to his majesty. Glory be, may his feast last into eternity. I love it. Like, I don't know why they go mad and why they all have this great delusion, but I just think it's terrific. And then you've got this is what I really am most interested in, painting them up, making them look like the box cover. Oh, so good. I can't wait for this guy to come out with all the guts on his head. Like a big puffy, powdery wig. And then you can see here the different color schemes. Blister Skin, Gristle Gore, and Morgon. So what I think I'm going to try to do is replicate these three color schemes. They seem to be the ones that are most prevalent in the fluff. So I'll do a little bit of a painting tutorial probably on different color schemes. Yeah, they just look so good. Oh, and they even got a painting guide. Okay, so this is what I'm always looking for. I think it's terrific. It shows you how to create these effects, and they're very easy to grasp if you're like a new painter, if you're someone who is just getting into it and learning how washes work and how to highlight. I think night goblins, like the night goblin that I painted in my last stream, I think those are actually easier to learn because they're so small and there's very little room for error. But I think these are a close second, especially because they're the new hot army that just came out. Finding your your style, right, and how you would like to paint is using these guides is really beneficial for a new player. All right, and then you've got the more the rule stuff in the back. This is great. This is really great. Oh, Nagash, you're here? Nagash is here. Good for them. I have that hero on the slanted rock still in the blister. The guy with the wing. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, there's the Terrorgeist right here with the bat face. Just like you said. To an abhorrent vampire, the Terrorgeist steed appears as a glorious white-feathered lord of the sky. The reality is that these bat-like Goliaths are ferocious and foul, traits they share with their cannibal masters. That's terrific. To fly a noble drake... Here, the zombie dragon. To fly a noble drake into battle is the desire of many an abhorrent liege. Though these corpse beasts are, in truth, rotting and pestilent, there is a certain morbid majesty to them. Whew. This guy, right? The guy on the slanted rock. Is he out yet? I don't think so, yeah. He's coming out with Ushorin. As well as these guys, the Cardinal, the Royal Decapitator. Crypt Gas Courtier. Okay, so just like courtiers, is that what those are? The old school ghouls. Because I don't see any entry for those. Crypt Horrors, Royal Beast Slayer. Oh no, here we go. Crypt Ghouls. Just your regular, amongst all these amazing, awesome figures is the lowly, the humble Crypt Ghoul. Yeah, that's great. Good stuff. And then, of course, the scenery and the spell war scrolls. Ah, very good. Well, that's going to do it for me, guys. I don't remember seeing vampire counts on the list of armies in the old world. No, you know what? Okay, so going back to our old world discussion, they came out with a list of armies that they were going to feature, and then ones that weren't, according to the fluff, weren't prominent in the border, what is it called? The borderlands or whatever. And yeah, vampire counts wasn't on it, sadly. So like a lot of armies that you would think would be. But okay, here's my thought on that. My conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat theory, is that they couldn't put vampire counts because so many of the units that they would want, like the zombies and the skeletons and stuff, have been redone for Age of Sigmar with the different bases, right? So like their dire wolves, their fell bats, they're all on these new round bases, and I think they know deep in their heart of hearts that if they were to release a vampire counts, like old world vampire counts, that a lot of people who have Soulblight Gravelords would be like, hey, what the hell, man? You're gonna make me buy another 100 zombies or another 100 skeletons on square bases? And I think it would be kind of upsetting. But what I know they're gonna do is release the rules for them. I think didn't they say they were going to release the rules that you could use to bring out your armies, but they're not going to do like a splash release with new models or something. I think so. I think that's what I heard. But there is like a list of 8 armies that are going to all be receiving uh, the facelift treatment. The Beasts of Chaos, Wood Elves, Dwarves. I thought I saw Empire with Bretonia on there as well. But yeah, it's interesting. There's no, I think because there's Beasts of Chaos, but I don't remember seeing like the Chaos Warriors. I don't know. I could be fuzzy, and you know what? Things could change anyways all the time. Remember when the old world was supposed to feature Kislev as a faction, right? When they first announced it, way like many years ago. So I think they're really stepping on eggshells, and they're trying to navigate this minefield of what the customer is hoping for and what the customer is expecting. I think a lot of us cynical, jaded war gamers are looking at this like, okay, we know they can't refresh their entire range of old models. But yeah, just like they did with Tomb Kings, right? But what I'm thinking is that Games Workshop, if they had their ducks in a row, right? If they like a couple months ago when they first started releasing more content and doing like model reveals of that Foot Knight unit for Bretonia, or the Lady Elise Duchard for Bretonia, when they were making those big reveals, sure, there's nothing to do with the game, but what they could have started doing back then was saying, okay, we're going to open up on our website. You go to Warhammer or gamesworkshop.com, and under the store, under 40K and Age of Sigmar, which are the most popular games, if they had added an old world tab with all of their old units just repackaged with different base sizes, even if they had to release them in their white cardboard Games Workshop boxes, so not with the new box art, however, packaging, whatever they want to do, they would have made so much money if they had done like goblin spearmen, right, or spear gobos, or like goblin archers, or spider riders. If they had released those for the old world, well, I guess they do have some of those now in Age of Sigmar, right? But they've got them on the round bases. So having to do those, if Games Workshop had done that, I think they would have made so much money for Christmas time, because a lot of people are hyped. I've mentioned this earlier in the stream, but a lot of people are excited and ready to go. And if Games Workshop said, like, hey, look, these are the armies we're going to focus on: Bretonia, Empire, Tomb Kings, Beasts of Chaos, Wood Elves, Dwarves, and here are their core units. Here are some of their like famous characters that you could get during that time, and we're gonna release them in new packaging. But for right now, you can get the models with the bases they're gonna have through the website. I think that would have been a big hit for Christmas, especially for people like myself who has so many of these armies. If you said like, hey, they're releasing like Savage Orcs again, and like a lot of models that I did have, but yeah, some of those models I would love to paint again. Like I had so much fun the other night painting this up, this little night goblin. I had so much fun painting him up. It reminded me of being a kid again and discovering painting for the first time and learning like, oh, okay, because this is a dirty robe, it's not nice and clean, I can have fun with the highlighting. I don't have to be perfect. I can afford to make mistakes. And with the face and the skin, I can practice with shading, and I can like learn how to do highlighting, and I can learn just how much of a pain in the butt it is to paint yellow off of a black primer. I learned this tip today. I saw it on YouTube. Somebody was painting up their Marauder Giant. He said if you want to paint a really good solid yellow, paint a base coat of pink, like Fulgrim pink, because for some reason yellow covers real smooth on pink. I thought that was really interesting. All right, those are my thoughts on the old world. Anyway, my thoughts on what I wish Games Workshop would have done, what I think is going to be coming down the pike, and what's going to be happening. It's an interesting time with it right around the corner. I've noticed this too. I don't know if you all have noticed the same thing, but on my social media, I used to see a lot of people, a lot of content creators that are getting the free stuff from Games Workshop, and we're painting them up and showing them off and saying, "Hey, thanks at Warhammer for providing me the free kit to paint up." Like, I saw that a lot with the Leviathan set. I saw it a lot with the Seraphon. I saw it a little bit with Cities of Sigmar, but I'm noticing less and less of that. And I don't know if it's because Games Workshop is getting a little bit more strict about who they give free stuff away to, or if the content creators aren't churning out the work fast enough, or if it's that ironclad NDA that they're forced to sign that they could send you to court and sue you for everything you have if you break. It's kind of why I'm pretty at peace and content with the fact that Games Workshop hasn't contacted me, even though I've been making videos on painting their miniatures for the past 14 years of my life. Good grief. All right, guys. That's I don't know. I'm gonna get off my soapbox there, but I want to let you know what I have planned for the rest of the year. The day after tomorrow, I'm gonna be packing up and heading out to the Bay Area with my family. I've got my in-laws over there. We're gonna be spending Christmas and New Year's there. I've mentioned it before many times that my lady boss is pregnant with twins. We're at about 6 months now, and this is about crunch time, right? So you're gonna see content and videos from me going down a lot, as I'm gonna be spending a lot more time taking care of her and my son as well, of course, obviously. But I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. This was a tough year for me, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty rocky next year. So I want to do everything I can with the time that I have, with the free time that I have. I want to spend it here with you guys on the Discord as well. I want to be as much of a presence there, because I know I've had to drop off. Sometimes when during Spooky Toberfest, for example, when my personal life really takes, is gonna, when I know it's gonna take the most of my time, like when the money situation is not that great, or when the personal relationship issues and like the time, just the balance. It's like a balance of time, right? Balancing everything. When it's not that great, then I do have to really do like a full detox from the hobby and YouTube and Discord and the social part of it. And I really hate that, because there's nothing I enjoy more than spending hours and hours of time painting, talking about painting, hanging out with you guys. That's what I really enjoy doing. It's just that, we got to keep everything in balance. So from the bottom of my heart, if I'm not able to come back tomorrow to do another live stream, Merry Christmas to you all, and Happy New Year, or whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays. And I hope that 2024 is really great for everybody. I know it's going to be for the hobby. Like, I think I noticed that this piece of rubbish was sculpted. Yep, 2004. 20 years ago. 20 years ago, somebody decided, hey, you know what would be funny? Let's put one of these guys in a clamshell without an arm, and let's just see if anybody's stupid enough to open it without asking for a refund. Yeah. And this friend was like, why don't we also give him like a really bent weapon? I'm gonna give you an arm, brother, even if I have to borrow one from one of my zombies. You know what? I'm gonna give you a ghoul arm. That might be pretty fun, since there are so many extra arms that come off the ghoul frame. Speaking of which, Crypt Ghouls unboxing is coming out to tonight. As soon as I'm done filming this live stream, when I wrap this up, I'm gonna go and hit publish on that one. So check that out. And as always, thank you for joining me. The biggest thing you can do to help me out is to hit the like button, even if you don't subscribe to me. Somebody said that, oh yeah, subscribers doesn't really affect how much your video gets shown to other people. But if you hit the like button, if you leave a comment, if you interact with me, like Thomas, thank you so much for all the interaction. That really helps to bump my video up, make it more visible to people. And pretty soon I'm going to be right on the heels of that damn Squidmar. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Please follow me on the Discord and check out my other videos. I've got, like I said, I've got that hobby with me video that that should be going live pretty soon. It's just an hour, and I want to be doing more of those hobby with me videos where we just work. We don't have to talk. We don't have to do anything. We just work for an hour and get some painting done. All right, guys, have a good one. Thank you so much for checking out the video. We'll see you in the next one. Latest, players.